That's the one.
Yeah.
Good luck, bro.
What up, team? So today I'm going to show you how I use OBS to stream to YouTube. Plus I'm going to give you a little tip for some changes that are coming. Some of you may already be aware that Hangouts as we know it is going to disappear, and it's going to change into two different apps called Google Meet and Google Chat. Now, from what I understand, Google Meet is going to have like the conference call platform that we know very well, like Hangouts as it is, but to be able to run a meet, you're going to have a business account which you have to pay for. You can have a 14-day trial as it stands, but then apparently you're going to have to pay for it after that. So I'm not sure how that's going to work for YouTubers who'd like to run a live hangout. You may have to have a G Suite account to be able to run a live hangout. So I'm going to show you a way you can do what we do, similar to what we do with Hangouts, for free using Skype and OBS. But anyways, let's get into it. Let me share my screen here. Give me a sec. Make sure everything's all intact. Right, we're good. Okay, so this is OBS Studio. It's a streaming encoder, and you can use it to stream to YouTube, Twitch. You can stream it to anything really, but I'll show you a few basics, right? So down here is your start streaming tab. I'm actually using this to record this video as well, so be aware. This is recording, right? Studio mode. What this does is sets you from one screen to two screens. So as it stands, this is the screen that's streaming and recording, and this side over here is what you set up your next scene to go over here, and then you transition it when you want it to go over. So studio mode, we're in two screens, right? And you can go single screen, but it doesn't let you set up scenes prior to sending them across, right? So I keep it on this one. So just going back here, we'll get this one blank so I can show you what's going on here. Kill the screen capture on this side. Okay, so when I run my live show, I have a scene set up for most of the stuff that I already need. The Big Boys Boxing Live Show, as it's labeled here, I'll just show you. Okay, so this is my stream page. Comes up with this, right? I've got my intro here. I can deactivate that right now, and just to let you know, if you've got an intro set up on top like that, it starts once you hit transition. It'll go over here, it'll play up the intro, and then it will flip down to what's next. So we'll turn that off because I've already run that. The ticker that I've got here is this text you see running along the bottom. To get it to run across the bottom, you have to set filters. We'll have a quick look at that. So actually, what we'll look at first is the scenes. So these are the scenes that you set up. I'll just show you a couple of instances. Right, blank, that's for when I start my stream. I start on blank and have everything set up here. I hit stream, then hit my transition, and it goes straight into it. That's why sometimes you see a little gap on the start of my streams. Chrome, obviously that's just capturing my browser. I'll give you a look. There you go, see, it's capturing a browser. Versus, these are just photos of different boxes that have fought or coming up fights, so I can whack a picture on when I'm talking about something. Short clips, so obviously video record, sometimes I use that. When I'm recording a fight, if I've got it running on my browser, I get the fight going, hit go over here, hit start recording, then maximize it and forget about it until the fight's over, and then come back and hit record to stop it. Right, pretty self-explanatory. Right, so we'll go there. Now we'll have a look at what you need to do to capture these sources. Right, I don't use these audio capture things up here. I don't use browser either to capture my browser. I use window browser. Color source, I don't use that. Display capture, okay, that's what we're looking at right here. It's capturing my whole display, and yes, I've got a magnifier running on the top. Sometimes I've noticed on these tutorial videos the text is a little bit blurry and you can't see it very well, so you can see exactly what I'm having my mouse hover over at the moment. So yeah, it is what it is. Display capture is display capture. Game capture, I don't use that. Image, those are like this screen overlay image that I've got. It's just capturing an image and then you can resize it to whatever. Slideshow, image slideshow that we've got here, I've got one of them running as well. I'll actually go down and just have a quick look so we can see. Here's my slideshow here. It's already activated and it's going. But once you've clicked on, this is where you add your scenes, you click on add slideshow, and to get to where it would go, I just go right click properties. Okay, you can set up what kind of transition you want, like swipe is what I've got set up obviously, the time between the slides, and the transition speed. Okay, those are the important things. I've got it set on loop. Don't know why I've got that hidden, but oh yeah, when it's not active it hides it obviously. And I've got it randomized as well, so it's not like the same sort of thing all the way around. Aspect ratio, I didn't even mess with that, that was just what it was. But if you want to add more photos, obviously you come down here, click plus, add files, and it'll take you to your file explorer where you can add whatever photos you want, and then hit open when you've selected what you want. And once it's all done, you hit OK. But yeah, so that's pretty straightforward as well. What other sources did we have here? Window capture, we're going to do a demo of that one very shortly, but that's how I've captured my browser. You can use it to capture a hangout window, you can use it to capture anything, bar a few things. Scene, I don't use that. NDI source, now this won't show up on your OBS unless you've installed the plugin for this. I was trying to use NDI source to try and capture the Skype app, but it's pretty technical. It can be done, but it's very technical, and I thought it was just too much hassle, so I found the easier way. Media source is my intro, which is like an MP4 file. Yeah, and I explained already that you won't see the intro on this until you transition. When it's active, it goes, but that's also if you've got it set up like that. So go into the intro properties. Okay, so you don't want it on loop, and you want restart playback when source becomes active. Use hardware, yeah, okay, yeah, just keep that clicked, and show nothing when it's not active. So there you go. There's not much else to that, but yeah, be aware when you play it. When it comes active on here, you'll see it playing, but you won't hear anything. But there will be one of these sound bars down the bottom once it's active, and you can control set where you want the volume at for your intro prior to going live. And once it goes active, it'll be set up and going. Right, so my other sources here. This is the thumbnail that I've got set up. It's just another image capture, and I've sized it to fit in that screen. I'll show you about sizing your captured sources shortly. Screen overlay, that's just this. If I deactivate it, you'll see what I mean. I had to make a PNG image, so oops, that's the thumbnail, sorry. Screen overlay. If I deactivate this, it disappears. So what I did with that image is I made it with the TV in it, then I cut out the inside of the screen and saved it as a PNG image. I do all my images on paint.net. It's free, it's pretty simple to use, and it gets the job done. So oops, wrong one again. Let me set that up. Okay, so let's get to this free way of setting up what we do with Hangouts, but through Skype. So as you can see here, I've got a window open with my big boy's Skype account ready to go. Back to OBS. We don't have a source for it, so we'll go back to this blank scene and we'll capture a source. So I go add scene, I go window capture, and I've already got one captured already and set up, so I don't have to make a new one. So you'd name whatever your new one would be, but I've got an existing window here, right? So I'll go Skype call and just leave that how it is. Boom, there it is, captured the window. Right, now see how it's got this little red square around it? That's for sizing. But if it hasn't got this red square around it, it's not selected, and it's going to mess with your other sources. So what we can do here is, if you grab the corner, you can make it bigger and smaller, and it'll maintain the aspect ratio, right? Or you can stretch it with the side ones. Oh no, that doesn't still maintains the aspect ratio. Okay, so you might have to hold down shift maybe if you want to stretch it. Yep, that's it, hold down shift and you'll be able to stretch it that way or stretch it the other way. But if you just want it full screen, you can go onto the source, right click, go up to transform, go across here, and there's a few options here, right? If you know that whatever your scene is 1920 by 12, 1920 by 11, what is it, 1920 by 1080, you can just go fit to screen, right? But I know mine's not, so it'll fit to top and bottom, but there's still gaps on the side. If you just wanted it full screen, you go transform and stretch to screen. Now just be aware the aspect ratio may be a bit messed up if you haven't got it sorted right. Okay, so that's how you can capture that. Now just to prove that it will work, let's go and call this guy, see if he's home. Here we go. We'll just phone call. Now, give me a sec once I answer, because this phone is right next to my computer and it's going to have a bit of feedback. So. Man, it takes a while to go through.
The person whom you're trying to currently unavailable. Please leave a message after the beep.
Bullshit, it's right next to me. Let's try again. Trying to mess with my demo, man. Come on. I'm sitting here holding the phone I'm calling.
The person whom you're trying to reach is currently unavailable. Please leave a message after the beep.
Nah. Screw your message. Let's... Give me a sec here. I'll just open Skype on my goddamn phone. It's not like I'm not available. There we go. So, we'll try one more time. Close that. Call. There we go. Alright. Da-da-da, there I am. Hi. Okay, so back to OBS. It's captured, right? I look a little bit fat because the aspect ratio isn't quite right, but see, it's capturing the whole browser. You can size it up and make it bigger. Right, we'll see if we can do that. There we go, see? Stretch it out. Boom! There, you've just got what you want to see. But how I set it up is over on my live show. See, I've got a Skype call here. Activate that and deactivate the thumbnail that's above it. Boom, there we go. Hi. So that's how we set it up. But do note that to do this, I am using the browser version. I think it's called Skype Online. I'm using the browser version here because if you use the, what is it, Skype app, I've actually deleted it because it wasn't working. But yeah, if you use the Skype app, it won't capture what you're looking at on OBS. It'll just come up with a black screen. Microsoft have blocked it from being used like that because, you know, when you go into a live hangout and you have to tick the box and agree with the conditions, and you realize that it's live and everything that's on there is going to be streamed, so they don't have that declaration on Skype, so that's the reason they try and block it. But yeah, if you use the browser version, you can just capture the browser and have it sitting up there like so. So it's pretty straightforward. But yeah, like I've got down here, as you can see, I've got my desktop audio and my mic audio. Anything that comes out of, all the sound that comes out of my desktop goes through the stream, and everything that comes out of my mic goes through the stream. So yeah, to do those, if you want to make sure you're capturing the right audio, you go into settings. Obviously you go into audio, and you just want to make sure that your desktop audio is set to default, so it's picking up your normal desktop audio. And you want to make sure that your mic is set to default, so it's picking up your mic that you usually use as well. You can mess around with what audio you want to pick up and whatnot, but yeah, it's not that hard to sort out. And if you do ever get stuck, there's thousands of videos on YouTube to teach you anything you want to know about OBS. I learnt everything I know about OBS through YouTube. Your output settings, I'll just give you a quick look. You can pause the video and copy the settings if you want. As you can see here, the recording options aren't available because I am recording on this device, but you want to set your stream settings the same as your recording settings. I've got them set at 720p, so if my internet's running slow one day, it's not going to buffer or anything like that. It's not going to matter too much with recording, because you don't have to deal with internet. What else is important? Output. Okay, yeah, well, you obviously got to pick where your recordings are going to go to, but that's pretty straightforward too. You just get to pick the destination of your recording, and don't mess with the format, because sometimes the video can't finalize once you've finished recording if you change it. So just leave it at that, and if you want to change the format after you've done your recording, you can do so with whatever software you've got or you want to use. The other important part that I thought was definitely, we've got to go into stream. Alright, so if you're streaming to YouTube, you've got to set it to YouTube. But there's a whole lot of options here that you can stream to different sites and whatnot. But I think once you select YouTube Gaming, it comes up with a default server anyway, so you shouldn't have to mess with that. But the stream key, is very important. Where you get your stream key from is, let's go, oh yeah, I've got one here. Right, so you go into Creator Studio. I use Creator Studio Classic because it's easy to find shit, and I don't want to bother with YouTube Beta. But go into streaming, and with OBS, I use the Stream Now option. You can set it up through events, but if you do that, you've got to go over to OBS, start your stream encoder, then come back. Then you've got to start a preview and wait for the preview to come up. Get the preview running, then got to hit stream, and then you can start streaming from YouTube. If you're using the Stream Now option, you just hit stream, start stream on your encoder, and you're away. Now some people think that, oh, well, you have to go through events if you want to schedule a stream. No, you don't. Look at this down here. Look at that. Schedule next stream. You just click on there. It comes up with all the options for when you want to set a stream. And another thing is, you only get half-hour increments here, right? But instead of doing that, you can just type. If you click again, you can type what time there. You can do 5 past, 10 past, quarter past, and so on and so forth. But anyways, we're not going to worry about that for now because that's not the important part. That's for you to sort out. Down here, stream name, stream key. this is where you get it. So what you want to do is reveal this, then copy it, or like so. Once it's revealed, Control C, so it's on your clipboard. Take it over here, delete whatever's in there, then push Control V to paste it in there, apply, and boom, okay, you're set to go. All you have to do to get started on your stream on YouTube is hit start streaming, and then like I say, I have the blank set up on this side before I hit start streaming. Come up and have it set up with my streaming source with the intro activated, ready to go, and I hit fade, transitions across, and boom, you're done. But that's pretty much it. So I don't think I've missed anything. Just have a quick look at the sources here again. Deprecated, I don't know what that is. Group, I don't know what that is. I don't use them, so I don't really care. Window capture, that's for capturing windows, like a Hangout or Skype or your browser or whatever, a window. Video capture device, you can capture video from other devices on your network, but I don't use that either. Text, I was going to go into this a little bit, wasn't I? So like I was saying, along the bottom there, I've got that text ticker running across, and how you set that up, if we go, what's going on here? Ticker, okay. Yeah, ticker. We'll go into properties to have a look. Right, so this is where you choose your text type, and pretty much that's it. But from there, to get it running across the screen, what I did was, I believe it's been a while since I've set it up, so give me a sec here. I think I went filters, yes I did. And you want to add a filter, you want to add the scroll filter, so it's down here, scroll, right? And that's the filter that I've added there. And this is how you get it to run across the screen. So horizontal speed, I've got it just to the left at 91.20. The vertical speed 0, because I don't want it to go up and down. Alright, and just like any of the other sources, you can resize it on your screen. So what I mean by that is, if I click on ticker, you see the red box comes up around it again. I can stretch it taller if I hold down shift and use one of the little squares that are on here. I've got it, there it is. And see, I've got it set so big that it's scrolling from like way over here. But yeah, and that's how you can move it around and whatnot, and they're all layered. What's on top is going to be visible. So it's pretty straightforward, and once you've set it up, you don't have to do it again. You just open OBS, make sure you are, well, there are a few things, like you have to go and sort out your Skype window, open, and I've got it sized down like this so it fits properly in the capture for my window over here. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. Once you've got it set up, it's easy. You can just open OBS, make sure everything's set, hit stream, and you're away. During my streams, I usually run a bit of background music, and to get that, I like have a checklist of about 6 things that I've got to sort out before I go live. For my audio, I just open VLC, I go, actually before I do that I need to turn this down. I have it at about there. So I run, where are we? Open folder, music. I've got a folder set up with copyright free music, and boom, and the music plays in the background. And if we go back to OBS, you can see the desktop is picking up the volume in the background. So that's it. That's how I use OBS. There's still a lot more stuff that you can do with it, but it certainly gives you a lot more freedom to do what you want to do in your streams, more than Hangouts does. So I hope this is all of some assistance to you. I can't think of anything else. Did I mention when you play your intro, your media source files, when they're active, it'll come up with another soundbar down here. You won't be able to hear the video that's playing. You'll be able to see it, but you won't be able to hear it. But you'll have the soundbar down here that you control the volume on as well. So that's all I can think of. If you've got any questions about anything to do with OBS that I haven't covered, I might be able to help you out. I may even be able to do a live tutorial with you if you request it. I'm quite happy to help others at any stage and any time. So hope you've enjoyed. Make sure you give me the thumbs up if you have. I'll catch you in the next one. This Big Boys Boxing. I'm out. See you.